Heading into the All-Star break with momentum. My name is Mike Petralia, joined courtside here at TD Garden by Josue Pavone, following a 118-110 win by the Celtics over the Detroit Pistons. Josue, safe to say the win in Philadelphia and this win over the Pistons badly needed after the two losses to the LA teams. What was impressive to me tonight, Josue, was the fact the Celtics were without Kyrie Irving. They were without backup point guard Terry Rozier. They were without two bigs in Robert Williams and Aaron Baines, and they still found a way to handle the Pistons' bigs for the most part.
Yeah, especially defensively. You know, you talk about someone like Aaron Baines, who means so much to the front court on the defensive end of things, and they came out really strong here. Very similar to what we saw last night against the Philadelphia 76ers, which is impressive considering that it's the second night of a back-to-back. Had to travel from Philadelphia, come into Boston. You saw that same intensity. They got out to a 8-point lead to start, but you saw the intensity on the defensive end, and they were able to prevent the Pistons, specifically in the third quarter. And that's been the story with the Celtics team when they struggle. That dreadful third quarter, they didn't struggle that much in this game, in that third quarter. It was more the fourth quarter when things got a little chippy. The referees sort of played a part in terms of a lot of fouls going on, and
the game that would not end.
Yeah, exactly. Dead on. That's exactly what happened. But that's sort of, I mean, we've seen this before, right, Track? The last game before the All-Star break, we've seen this before, right. But the Celtics still remain strong defensively at the end of it, and they were able to come out with a win.
All right, 8-0. As you mentioned, they start this game. Then they, in the middle of the first quarter, give up a 17-0 run to the Pistons, but then they respond with an 18-0 run of their own. Really a game of runs, as it seems so many NBA games are. But the Celtics were able to really get balanced scoring, all of their starters in double figures, and as you said to me before we started recording here, a monster double-double, 17 points, 12 rebounds from Al Horford.
He's been humongous, Trags, these last two games. I mean, for the most part, he's played a part in a lot of these games, whether the Celtics win or lose. He's been very productive for the Celtics. But the last couple of games, you see a different attitude in his eye. And I think that's the sort of attitude that the Celtics team sort of relies on. Not relies on, but it resonates better with the rest of the squad. And I think that we saw the same case, you know, when he's very rah-rah, when he's up in people's faces, when he's very aggressive on defense and holding his teammates accountable. We saw in Philadelphia, he sort of not to correct Jaylen Brown, but sort of pointed him in the right direction. You see him being very vocal with other guys throughout the starting lineup and throughout the second unit. That's the leader that we know Al Horford is. He isn't always the most vocal leader. He's more of a quiet leader, more of a locker room leader. But when we see him being vocal the way he's been out on the floor with his guys, it makes a tremendous difference.
This Garden Report is brought to you by our friends at 1 in 100. Enter for a chance to win in a raffle Celtics tickets for the cost of a beer. Just go to clnsmedia.com/Celtics raffle for your chance to enter and win today. Remember, your first entry, Josue, is absolutely free. Look, I think the Celtics, for their confidence, needed to finish this off strong. I have my doubts. Look, the Celtics were up, 27 points midway through the fourth quarter. The Pistons cut this to 10 points at 102-92, and who was it but Al Horford who came up with the three?
Yeah, he came up with the three. Marcus Smart came out with a lot of threes as well. That sort of
he was 0 for 19 from three-point land before finally hitting 4 in a row. That was remarkable.
That's such a Marcus Smart stat when we're talking about his three-point shooting. Pretty much him in a nutshell, but it made a big difference. It gave them a cushion. This thing, as you see, the final score was only 8 points. Should have been a lot more than that, but that was the cushion that he created. And it kind of reminds me of those so many games where Brad Stevens has led this team, and it's been that defense leads to offense kind of approach. That's what we're seeing again, and that's what they need to get back to doing on a consistent level. The backbone of this team has to be defense. That's going to make the difference, especially throughout the upper echelon of the Eastern Conference. If they can able to be that Eastern Conference defensive-minded team that we've seen so many times, pretty much throughout Brad Stevens' entire tenure here with the Celtics, that is going to translate into the offense. That is going to be what makes a difference night in and night out.
I thought Jason Tatum had a terrific game passing the ball.
Yeah, he did, and he looked very comfortable out there. You saw the same thing from Marcus Smart once he got going offensively. And, of course, Al Horford has just sort of been the rock for this group.
Really has been. Again, the Celtics head into the All-Star break with some momentum. A big emotional win in Philadelphia, followed up here by Wednesday night's 118-110 win over the Detroit Pistons, who, by the way, Josue, were playing pretty well coming in winners of 4 or 5, but the Celtics find a way to win on the home court. They are 37-21. They'll get 7 days off, and they don't have a home game here for 2 weeks against the Portland Trailblazers, their next home game here at TD Garden on February 27th. I hope you limber up against the Portland Trailblazers. We'll have you covered on CLNSmedia.com, and of course, follow us on Twitter at Celtics CLNS. The final again, the Celtics 118, the Pistons 110. For Josue Pavone, Mike Petralia, CLNS Media.